Good afternoon, everybody. We'll call the meeting to order. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll take some requests from our friends over here. Go ahead. Garner.
Thank you, Chairman. I have House Resolution 1582. What that is a study committee where we look at giving a step increase to our teachers, our veteran teachers at year 28.
Okay. Give me that number again. What was it? 15?
1582. Last on the page.
What was the number?
1582.
Okay.
Thank you.
Got you. Thank you. Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to ask for House Resolution 1755, 6 from the bottom on the second page. It's calling for a study committee to look at alternative investment options for local governments.
Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Leader Wade.
Thank you, Chairman. This is asking for on page 2, just below Chairman Anderson's House Resolution 1789. This is an urgent resolution to dismantle the U.S. Department of Education and recognize the 10th Amendment and restore our rights. It will not cut funding that impacts students. It's just making more efficiencies within our federal government, and that process has started, and many believe that it's going to save taxpayers in the long run and also give states the opportunity, like we are in Georgia, leading the way to help our students. That's the resolution.
I have a question for you. Whip Park has a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Wade, with this urging resolution to dissolve the Department of Education, so this just falls back on Georgia, is what you're asking for?
No, if the gentleman would take a few minutes to read the resolution, I'm happy to go with it line by line after the Rules Committee meeting, but it specifically acknowledges that it targets, like, for example, student loans would now go to the Department of Treasury. Food programs for kids would be in the Department of Agriculture. It's just removing a layer of bureaucracy that delays what I believe is serving our children in our state. It would give us as Georgians the opportunity to take up the mantle and lead on certain other efforts. It will also not change IDEA, but it will allow special education teachers and Georgia's Department of Education and Governor's Office of Student Achievement an opportunity to act more swiftly without waiting on federal bureaucracy.
This comes across as somewhat extreme given where Georgia's rankings are with respect to reading and math scores. So, I mean, if y'all think that this is a good policy or good politics.
I appreciate your support of the literacy bill, and the House is leading the effort to make that change. And I
catch
think
up with Mississippi, I believe, correct?
To catch up with our potential in other states, and I think the U.S. Department of Education also is limiting many states in their success. You may disagree, and I can respect that.
Strongly disagree.
Okay, got another question. Leader Hughley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really don't have a question, but I'm offended when somebody asks a question and the response is that if you would read the bill, blah, 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 blah. This is our last day here, and there are a lot of things coming before us, and I'm just asking for a little more civility.
I think the whip and I just have a friendly banter, but I respect the leader's comment.
Okay, we're going to all be friendly this afternoon now. Okay, no more questions.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, sir. Come on up, Rob.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have two resolutions. I'm going to start with House Resolution 1748. This is a study committee to look at how we are working with design professionals for public funds.
Okay, what's your second one?
House Resolution 1749. This is a study committee to look at online gaming platforms in the hope of protecting our children.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chairman Hilton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. House Resolution 1860 at the top of page 3. This is kind of a passion project of mine. It looks at how we deliver services for individuals with special needs. Every 2 years, my wife and I have to submit a binder about this large of paperwork to qualify to receive Medicaid for our son. And we both have advanced degrees. I worry about the single mom, English as a second language, who's got to navigate all this, who frankly is not navigating it. and how do we make Georgia the #1 state for individuals with special needs?
No questions. Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Mr. Chairman. Yep.
Yes, sir. Leader Gambrill.
Thank you, Chairman. Page 3, House Resolution 1948. This is one that I apologize, I know comes a little bit late. We did have a bill to do this, and it didn't get things going until after crossover day, but this is simply an urging resolution that moves the authority and supervision of the Georgia Capitol Museum here in the state capitol on the 4th floor from the University System Board of Regents to the Building Authority. Both entities have signed off on it. The Chancellor supports it. The Building Authority is in favor of it, and the Governor has requested that we pass this urging resolution and then obviously consider legislation in the future session that would actually make that happen. But at this point, this is just an urging resolution to move that under the Building Authority.
Okay, thanks, sir. Don't see any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, going to call on Vice Chair Leverett to speak to substitute to Senate Bill 214.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ladies and gentlemen, there should be on your desk a substitute to Senate Bill 214. It's LC 474318S, and this was the elections bill that was passed out of Government Affairs a few weeks ago. There are about 8 or 9 changes on it, which I was going to try to walk through quickly with you. On page 2, in lines 32, 33, we have added a definition for hand-marked paper ballot. The term paper ballot was used throughout some of these code sections, but we've actually created a defined term there. On page 5, there is a use of that term. On line 109, the term paper ballot has been used. Now that we created a new defined term, it's just hand-marked paper ballots, and that also appears at the top of page 6 in line 119. On page 7, I guess the operative section starts on page 6, which was to set up the advisory committee to the Secretary of State for certifying the new sort of uniform statewide election system. We've added on page 7 in lines 152, 153 that an additional member of that committee should be an elector of the state appointed by the Secretary of State who's an expert in cybersecurity. So we're just adding a cybersecurity expert to that advisory panel. Then on page 9, there's a new section, section 7, at the top of that page. Goes from lines 198 to 210. And the primary thing there, that's about ballot formats. And one of the requirements for ballots will be there, a serialized ballot batch identifier number. That's down in lines 209 and 210. Then on pages 17 through 19, we've added a new section 20. And you'll note, if you look on page 18, there in lines 428 and 431, the threshold for a recount has been moved from 0.5% to 1%. So we're trying to make those recounts a little broader or a little more frequent. And then on page 24, the very last page of the bill, at the top, we have changed the effective dates. Section 20, which is new, that's the one on the recount threshold, and Section 21, which is where the State Election Board, not the Secretary of State's office, would conduct those optical character recognition audits. Those are to be effective in July, so they would not be effective during the primary, but would be in place for the general election later this year. And those are the changes, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we've got a question. Leader Hughley has a question for you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I apologize if you said some of this. It was difficult for me to hear some of the things that you were saying, but on page 7, were you talking about appointing officials to this committee and its election officials except from counties provided for in section 8 of this subparagraph? What counties are we excluding here?
I don't believe we're excluding any. It's just the Georgia Association of Voter Registration and Elected Officials, Gavrio, would give us names, and then we would appoint from that list. That is not a change. That was in the original bill. I'm sorry, excuse me, Mr. Chairman. I don't believe we're excluding any counties there. It's just that Gavrio would provide a list, and then the one election official from that list would be appointed to the advisory committee.
But it says from counties other than those provided for in, and it continues on.
Division 8
Uh-huh.
of the subparagraph.
So I was just wondering, what counties are we?
I'm
excluding
afraid I
there?
don't know. That was in the bill as it came through committee the last time. That's not a change, but I can, I think if you look in paragraph 8, one of the appointments is a county election official to be appointed by the Secretary of State from a list of at least 5 nominees provided by Gavrio. I think it's just making sure that we don't have 2 people from the same county. There would be multiple counties represented.
Thank you. One other question, if you don't mind.
Yes, ma'am.
At this late juncture, and as close as we are to election, my election official is saying, don't send us any major changes. How do you anticipate that election officials across the state can accommodate this within the time frame that we have?
Well, I believe we've got to make some changes because of the current state of the law, and my understanding was Gavrio is supportive of the legislation. Now, I understand if you've got someone back home saying don't vote for it, we all have to make those decisions, but generally, I think as an organization, they support this legislation.
Well, isn't it true that we realize there are certain things that we have to do because of time frames, but we don't have to go with hand-marked paper ballots at this juncture? Is that not true?
Well, this doesn't mandate it. It just creates the defined term. There was no substantive change in the sort of requirements with respect to any hand-marked paper ballots. We're just creating a defined term in this substitute.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't see another question on that. Is there a motion that we approve Senate Bill 214 by substitute LC 474318S? Have a motion and a second that it's approved. Is there any opposition? Okay, it's approved. Okay. Chairman Blackman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I just wanted to ask for House Resolution 1947, just a study committee that would take a look at the QB funding formula and how it impacts the local 5 mil share and equalization grants, and in respect to economically disadvantaged areas. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Do we have a question on that? Okay, no questions on that. Thank you. Chairman Newton, you have a request?
Yes, sir. At the top of page 1, House Resolution 592, it deals with Georgia being 40th in the nation in number of physicians, an effort to try to study physician non-compete clauses and what the best avenue forward to ensure we retain and recruit the needed physicians in Georgia.
Okay, don't see any questions on that one. And Secretary Kelly has a request.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Study committee at the bottom of page 2, HR 1832, would study the way local governments either levy fees or taxes, and trying to put some clarity as to when a fee's a fee and when's a tax a tax.
Okay, don't see any questions on that. Thank you. Chair Lady Cooper, did you have a request?
I need some information, and I apologize for not getting it offline. I have a resolution on the yellow sheets, but it didn't come on the blue. It's just an awareness day. Are we handling those different than like we used to, or should I ask for it?
Go ahead and ask for it now.
Oh, it's Resolution 1052. It's just asking that Prader-Willis, the Prader-Willis genetic illness, there be an awareness day for it.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Let's go ahead and set a supplemental calendar for today. Yeah, okay. Senate Bill 214 by substitute LC 474318S. It's a move and a second. Any opposition? It's on. Senate Bill 527. Have a move and a second. Any opposition? It's on. Senate Bill 565.
Second.
Move in second. Any opposition? It's on. These are all modified structure. House Resolution 1670. Have a move in second. Any opposition? It's on. House Resolution 1889.
Second.
Moved in second. Any opposition? It's on. House Resolution 1948.
Second.
Moved in second. Any opposition? It's on. Okay, Senate Resolution 624.
Second.
Have a move and a second. Any opposition? It's on. Okay, that'll be our supplemental calendar as of right now. Thank you.